Greetings, programmers! Welcome back to CK2, and we ended that last episode on a very interesting note indeed. Poor old King Colin, well, I say poor old King Colin, he was one of the most successful kings that we've had. He, after years of celibacy, rediscovered the earthly delights of you-know-what, and it's, alas, proved rather too much for him, and he keeled over. So, we now have King Farquhar, who is of Welsh culture, hence the name of the country changing to Alba, at least for the time being. And we have a whole bunch of tidying up to do, as always happens when you change monarch. Now, this is potentially a bit of a delicate time, because, of course, you have previously loyal vassals that maybe aren't so loyal anymore, or you have people using it as a pretext to declare wars or civil wars or whatever. But in terms of vassals, I think we are largely fine. We do have some things to tidy up, though. We've got too many provinces directly held. I also have to take a look at the council. It also means that any truces I had with, well, in Sweden and Satakuntans in particular, they've been reset because the truces were between King Colin and those rulers. So what we'll do is first have a look, see if we can't find more competent councillors, and I think that's who we had before, actually, Duke Giric. This is Farquhar's court that's basically overwritten the previous court. So those people haven't disappeared, they haven't gone away, but we do need to basically reassign them and plonk them into useful places. I'll count the Isle of Man as the steward. Oh, that's a very competent spy master there, the Mayor of Penrith. 20. These are all much better than Farquhar had access to. But generally, as a king, you'll have the sort of best people out of the realm to bolster your council with. So there we go. Right, so we'll fabricate claim there. We can also just make a holy war claim on him. But what I'll first do is ship the retinues over there, because the retinues alone might actually be enough just to take that one province guy. So we'll get that sorted out. I don't think we'll need that many boats, and there we go, that should be enough. Financially we're doing okay. We'll have a quick look at the messages. Duchy of Northumberland, we still can't usurp that because that bunch of civil wars is very much ongoing in England. The latest one being more infighting over which of House Captain Guy's people, you know, which members of that noble family, or ignoble family, rather, should I say, are going to be on the throne. There's also a bit of stuff going on down in Aquitaine as well, but that's looking otherwise still fairly stable. But Castile, on the other hand, well, Portugal is as big now, if not bigger, so that's rather interesting. Elsewhere on the map, I don't think much has actually changed. We'll have a very quick look, but nah, that looks all fairly as we left it last time. Carpathia has slightly consolidated in the Croatian lands there, but otherwise it doesn't look like there's too much different going on. So yeah, I don't think we've got any other. We've got a bunch of weak claims where we could actually try and well, we could use them as pretext to go to war. But one very important thing we should do is nominate successors for the crown. So this is actually my son. Is next in line. What are his stats? He's also Welsh. If this keeps up, Captain's Guy is gonna have to add fake Welsh to the roster, which, knowing him, he very much, you know, would do. So we can have him, or we can have my cousin, Prince Richard, and we'll have a look at the laws for Ireland, where it looks rather different. I think we'll, just in the interests of trying to keep the succession the same for both, that is what we'll do for now, because we don't want to split the crowns. There's obviously a bit of juggling involved here, but yeah, if we can keep things together as much as possible. Well, that's all the Tanistry messages, and we actually might have a look back already at the Tanistry. There we go. Tanistry Richards is actually at the fore in both. So actually we'll switch votes. Just to make sure it's him. I mean, there's definitely not playing of favourites here. I just want to make sure that there's a guaranteed succession for the same person for both crowns, basically. So we do also want to divest at least one of my holdings. Also I should get them sent across because that's going to be costing a little money. Although as it's just the boats, there's no other armies. My retinues don't just cost money. Well, you're probably well aware by this point that retinues only cost money when they're reinforcing. But extra provinces is not something I especially need. So I might actually give somebody the Duchy of Ulster finally. He's a Macduff. He's Scottish. He's also an imbecile, so we probably don't want to give it to him. Let's see who. Why am I looking there? Court is what I want. Now we'll see who we've got that is relatively competent looking. We might even give it to a McJedi. Although we do have some Welsh culture people around as well. So Skjolg maybe. Whereabouts is he on the branch? Not that it matters actually with a Tanistry. In fact, giving him a duchy is maybe more likely to make him or his descendants be picked in future. But his stats, well, his diplomacy is terrible, but his other stats are not totally awful. I might actually... I wonder if I can... I can't just give him the duchy outright. That might be... yes... Might save me a few clicks, but anyway, right, so I'll say Oriel, which is what I was holding already, and then we'll say grant landed title, and I think at this point I can say yes, grant the duchy and include lower titles. So he's going to be now a very loyal duke. I have gotten rid of my demesne limit problem, and although Oriel was quite a nice earner, I did talk about this in the last episode, that it has no room for expansion, so yeah, Dublin and Kildare are much nicer looking in that regard. So I might actually strike while the iron's hot and take Kildare off Gwynedd, because that way, by the time I get round to tackling the rest of Wales, the truce will have by that point cooled down. And regular as clockwork, I mean, we're getting into a real cycle of history thing here, aren't we? Who was the... Oh, there's some really famous Muslim scholar from probably around about this period, actually. And I can't remember his name, but it basically wrote one of the first kind of proper works of historical analysis and basically tried to... posit that there were kind of a cyclical nature to events, at least in the bit of the Muslim world where he lived. So yeah, but his name is completely gone. So there you go. You might think I'm just making this up. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm just totally making this up. So he's actually garnered a few votes, the newly created count, or has he? Or was that him voting for somebody? It might have been. Might have been just me not paying attention. So as that is de jure part of my land, I can just basically say de jure claim on Kildare, bam, 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 and he is not going to be able to do a great deal about it. So I can just immediately raise troops from Dublin, who might even be enough all on their own for that bit. Yes, they will be. And then the rest we can basically just ship down to land in Wales at my leisure. So that's about, what, 2,500 men? And we'll let them consolidate. They've got maybe 2,900. So actually what we'll do is siege Kildare and then march them down into Deheubarth. And that should be fine. That should be no problem at all. And we'll also get a holy war going up here, because this guy still... oh, he does have some allies, okay. But, let's see, Savo, Golosami, and... where's Kemi? Or Kimi, however you say that. I don't know, but that's probably going to be a one province place as well. So I don't really think I've got to worry about any of those people. So that's fine. So apparently King Farquhar is very warlike, you know. He assumes the throne and he immediately starts declaring war on people. I mean, that's him, right? That's all him. That's not me. Yeah, sure. I actually think they're marching their troops up to attack me, because they're not immediately sieging my Welsh vassals' holdings, so that's interesting. Oh, also, I can create the Duchy of Northumberland. I will do that then. And I don't have any penalties for having too many duchies, because I divested myself of the Duchy of Ulster. So... that's fine, so there won't be any penalties for that. So I've got Northumberland and the Isles. I think 2 is the maximum you can hold without affecting your relations with other people. I'll actually speed up a little bit here, so we can get them marching that bit faster. Right, we're not making a profit, so we'll stand them down. I've got my retinues there ready, and they actually managed to muster together about 4,000 troops, but that doesn't especially worry me. I don't even have all of my own personal levies raised, let alone my vassal levies. So what's going on here then? And already my vassals are at war with each other. I think he tried to revoke the county of Ulster, and he's getting a bit spanked for it. Oh, just a siege of a trade post, that's no big deal. So yeah, I'm still at the stage with Crown laws where a Crown authority, I could actually try and put it up to High Crown authority, and that has the effect, as you can see there, vassal titles can no longer pass outside the realm through inheritance, which is very useful, but my vassals won't like me as much. But let's try and push it through and see if we can get the support for doing it. Now, if there isn't sufficient support, it'll basically just sit there forever until the king dies, and then the next king could maybe have a go. But anyway, also, yes, we can definitely get her married. See if there's anyone that would take a matrilineal marriage. She doesn't have particularly great stats. She does have a good marshal, though. He's not bad. Courtier in Pisa. Okay, and it's minus 300 prestige for her, but whatever. It's another... because it's a matrilineal... I can't even say it. Matrilineal marriage. It is... expanding the dynasty nicely, and you know, we'll get some Italian McJedis in the mix, because why not? We're going for full-on multiculturalism, apparently. So yeah, he's actually got a pretty good marshal. In fact, he's got a good enough marshal that I can actually appoint him as my marshal, so that's an added side benefit. So let's actually slow it down for a second. Defenders of Knockholland successfully raided the camps, which is good. And the Duke of Weiss has been called into the war against this guy, whose name temporarily escapes me. Bledin, there we go. Bledin of Gwynedd. So, sieges seem to be going okay. His army's just marching up and down, getting knackered, which is, you know, fine by me. And the new Duke of Ulster seems to be going out of his way to piss people off. I don't know why. Well, actually, that's a fairly evenly sized army. I'll see if I can't march out some of the 1,200 troops. They might not get there in time, but sometimes being able to march troops in actually, because these guys have got a defensive bonus, the fact that they have lesser numbers doesn't necessarily mean it's all doom and disaster, but they are losing. So if I can get my troops in there... Whoa, actually no, they lost. Okay. Actually no, I don't want to march my troops in there. What am I doing? Because then they'll have the defensive bonus, so never mind. And this is the point where the AI bugs the hell out because it can't quite decide what it's doing. So there, 9th March. I've not left it too late to march those guys out there. Yeah, sometimes the AI gets a little hinky and can't quite decide. So that's technology increased in Moray, and these sieges are going rather nicely. So it's a very well defended province, but we're not hurting for troops at the moment, especially with all the people we've got around. Also, I have another daughter, which is nice. And she is fake Scottish. Okay, so I don't know what that name's from. There must have been a Jedi at some point called that. Unless Caption Guy was just typing in random sounding names into the... I don't even know. I don't know how he did it. Anyway, Hacks and Chetas probably. So let's put the speed back up just by 1 because this siege is nearly done. And even though it's only 1% war score, I don't think there's any way we're losing this particular war somehow. Let's see, that's some friendly troops. That looks like retinues. And that's the first level of siege. And I've also got a prisoner, and we might actually be able to ransom this prisoner, which is always nice. And that's actually, you can start wars in CK2. It is an eminently valid strategy to start wars, not for the purpose of taking territory, but for the purpose of hopefully capturing prisoners that you can ransom, and it can actually be quite lucrative. So yes, so I'll actually march those guys in there. We might be able to sneak them around this army because they're basically ignoring these piddly little troops. You know, while we're at war with half of Wales, they're all having internecine squabbles about I don't even know what. Oh, also, okay, never mind, they didn't make it. But that's not necessarily a disaster. We might actually still win that fight. In fact, you know what? We'll abandon the siege, march those troops up. These guys should be able to hang on for long enough. At which point, we've got them. And you can actually bait the AI sometimes by dangling a smaller army in front of them. They march in, attack the smaller army, at which point you march in thousands of reinforcements and wipe them out. And it can be a little bit costly. It's not a good strategy for long wars. But if you need to deal with a particularly big army that just won't engage you, then that is one way to do it. Hay-on-Wye even asks, how can I best serve the Catholic faith? Be brave against our enemies, be just to all its children. Well, that sounds much more pleasant. And she's got the just trait, which is an incredibly useful one to have. +2 stewardship and +1 learning. So yeah, she's going to grow to have a pretty balanced set of stats, it looks like, actually. The only negative thing she's got is gluttony. Oh, shy is kind of negative as well, but it's, you know, there are worse ones to have. Also, oh, yeah, that army just got thrashed. We'll actually let their morale recover a bit, but they've got nothing left. Look at that, they got smashed. In fact, you know what, we'll just join them up with the main forces. It'll make that siege go a little bit quicker. Meanwhile, shall we, what do you think? Is this going to be pushing it? I'll make sure, oh yes, no, I don't actually have any, that might be useful. Actually, Skjolg is involved with all kinds of doings at the moment. We'll not have him as a leader. But yeah, I'm thinking, you know, let's be bold, let's be, oh. We can't declare war if we've raised levies. Of course we can't. Okay, that war will actually have to wait until I finish this war then. Oh, no, that's the wrong button. Didn't want to reorganize. I wanted to consolidate. There we go. So, yeah. I was like, oh yeah, let's declare multiple wars at once. If you do that, you have to do it before you've raised armies. It's a very basic mechanic of this game, and apparently I forgot that in a fit of temporary, you know, thing. So while this is happening, while the siege is going on, I have news. And I'll probably mention it in my next couple of videos, regardless of what they're in, because not everybody watches all my videos. But fibre is coming, and well, has come to my island, and basically it's now all been installed, and at least in the local area it's now possible to sign up for a fibre optic connection. Now, it's not brilliant fibre optic, we're not talking kind of 80 or 100 gigabits, unfortunately. It's fairly basic, at least for now. But I have signed up. It's fibre to the cabinet, so the speeds are also limited by that a little bit. But basically, it's going to be about 5 or 6 times as fast as my current connection, both down and up. Because at the moment, I've got nominally about 4 down and 0.3 up. Although on a good day, it's about 6 or 7 meg down. But with this new connection, it's going to be around 20 down and 2 up, which will be a vast improvement. So that means that all of my videos are now going to be able to be 1080p, including the longer ones like CK2. And even though that's going to mean bigger file sizes, if I'm uploading things 5 times as fast, that's going to make a hell of a difference. Now, my understanding of streaming is that it's not good enough for actually streaming. I think you need at least kind of 4 or 5 meg upload speeds in order to be able to stream without problems. But I don't know. At some point way down the line, maybe. Who knows? But I'm just happy that I can upload consistently in 1080. And I'll have to experiment around and see if I can get even better quality settings than I use for 1080 at the moment. Because I do kind of... it's maybe not the best quality it could be. Also, that's awfully quick. I've gotten, after how long raining? That's hardly any time at all, and I've already gotten an appellation. So, yeah. King Farquhar ap Mace McJedi. The Just. He is just, apparently. His first act upon assuming the crown is just to go to war with, but he's the Just. So, the game does not lie. Where are they trying to actually... Oh, with 51 troops. Yeah, that's not happening. I might not even need to entirely take over all their provinces, to be honest, because... oh, I've lost Honest. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I think Honest... Was it -2 intrigue, but +3 diplomacy, even? Oh dear, words. How do they work? So... Yeah, that's one of these really mixed ones where it's like, well, it hurts you a little bit, but it also helps you a little bit. I'm less likely to be stabbed in the back, but I'm more likely to say something horrible to another character and decrease their opinion of me. So let's have a quick look at what's going on in... oh, okay. She lost the crown, and now he got the crown, but there's still a war going on because he wants the crown, and he's not even house capturing guy. Okay, Duke, oh god, Ethelbert, something like that. And I don't know how he has a claim, but never mind, it doesn't matter anyway. So he's, yeah, England once again united under house capturing guy, Duke Sigrid III, or King Sigrid III. And his heir is Senwulf. Ignore. So, yeah, we might maybe have war with them again at some point. I have a claim on Durham. I have a de jure claim on Durham because I have that duchy. I can pick a fight with England if I want to. But my attention is kind of elsewhere at the moment. But it's nice to have that in my pocket. Ossory obviously is another pretext for declaring war, but that's with Aquitaine, so that's not really... It's slightly messy in terms of the borders, but I'm fine with not having Ossory just yet. I mean, it's... You get a fair while before that stops being a de jure part of this crown, basically. I think it's like 100 years, and it hasn't been anything like that yet. So as long as I don't leave it that long... and that becomes a de jure part of Aquitaine, which can happen. You can have really odd bits of kingdoms flipping their where they're the de jure part of, just due to longevity, basically. If you hold on somewhere long enough, It can end up making the de jure kingdom map look very odd indeed. And if you're wondering which one that is, there we go, there. So at the moment it's all rather neat and tidy, but you can end up with, say, you know, Italy there and then a chunk of Italy there, or wacky things like that, basically. So this war shouldn't take too much longer. I mean, we've got what we want. Yeah, one more siege, maybe another battle or two. In fact, he might even... Oh, there we go. He's actually offering peace right now. So there we go. And I'm actually going to hang on to that because... no, I'm not. Because it wasn't that kind of a war. Okay, he's now my vassal, but that's fine. He's a direct vassal. And I can also usurp the Duchy of Meath. But I'm not going to for now. Because I would actually have to give it to somebody. Basically. And then they would resent the fact that I have Dublin. And also, if I do create it or usurp it and have it for myself, that creates resentment among my vassals, because then I've got too many directly held duchy titles. So there's an advantage in not immediately just creating that. So let's where's this army? Let's disband them. That's fine. I can hold a grand tournament, which actually we'll do right now and get that out of the way with. And how are we doing cash wise? I might also race some boats. Oh dear, ill is not good. Ill might be nothing. He might recover in a couple of days, or he might just keel over. But it's probably a good thing that we finished that war when we did. But yeah, I would now like to go after PointyHairedJedi if I possibly can. And I'm not sure if I can just march my troops across that territory and attack them directly, or if I will actually have to raise boats, but I guess we'll see. So, somebody's... is this civil war still ongoing? Yes it is. Well, you people, just, you know, just play nice. Just play nicely with each other. Because that's definitely a feature of kind of feudal medieval history, right? That's an outstanding feature of it, how nice everybody was to each other. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely true. Also, that's a bunch of technology levels that have just popped up in Dublin, which is probably going to mean I can build some things. Or at least I could if I had the cash. And Dublin is itself, the mayor is upgrading their own holding, which is useful, because that's one that gives more tax as well, so that's awfully nice. So we'll just let the tournament play out, and we may... Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, okay. Right, this was not ideal. Okay. This is bad, actually. This is a bit bad because we have another king in the space of, what has it even been, a year? And rapid successions of kings is bad because it basically creates a lot of instability. And as you can see, they hadn't even gotten used to the other king yet, and now another king has just appeared on their horizon. So this may be a bad thing. This may indeed be a bad thing. We didn't even get High Crown authority pushed through. We're not going to try that again because they already dislike me enough. So this could be civil war territory. Also, we... there are people who think I should be more ambitious and find something to strive towards. Okay. That's just an interpersonnel relations result. But on the other hand, these things can end up being significant if somebody that previously liked you then doesn't like you and decides to stab you in the back. Or possibly in the face. So let's take a look at King Richard. He's a hedonist, he's greedy, content, craven, lustful, and gluttonous. No wonder nobody particularly likes him. We also need to pay back the Jewish moneylenders at some point, actually. In fact, we'll do that right now because we've got the cash. And that's one less bad count against me, as it were. One less strike against my character. So we'll do the usual nomination thing. Corin. Okay. And can we nominate Corin? We can also nominate Corin for Ireland. So we need also to get some people set up. One of the nice things, the more recent versions of the game do is they kind of auto pick a guardian for you, which sometimes you want to fine tune it if it's an important character, but other times it's because it's one of the more kind of fiddly things. It's often just a bit of a pain to go through them all, and so it's rather nice that the game kind of speeds that up. So also let's educate, not betroth. Duke of Moray, he might like me a bit more if I send him off to... it doesn't always happen. Unmarried heir, we should probably do something about that. Duchess of Munster, it's a teeny bit incestuous, but it keeps it in the family. I mean, it well, it literally does. It keeps the title in the family is what I'm going for here. I mean, they're only like cousins. I mean, it's not that bad. It's nothing that didn't actually happen in real life. Seriously, half the royals of Europe are related to each other, and half of them are related to each other through, like, Queen Victoria. It's a bit silly. So, yeah, we're just going to do that then. Right, unmarried heir, unlanded sons. I don't think we have really anything spare to give him. Pick an ambition, I should definitely do, because some of his stats are absolutely shocking. Good lord, he's not fit to be let near anything, really. He's got decent diplomacy skills, and that's about it. Let's get his intrigue a bit better. People are less likely to be plotting, and he's actually got a plot going himself, which we'll just cancel. I have no idea who that is. That was a thing that AI decided to do. Right, my armies are, as you can see, sadly much reduced due to the fact that my king has such a terrible martial skill, so we are going to have to avoid fights with England like the plague, but it shouldn't really affect my plan to go ahead and attack Hay-on-Wye up there. I've also got, yeah, those are the ducal claims I know about, so the rest of it is fine, but let's put the speed down and tentatively unpause and hope that we don't get embroiled in a nasty civil war. But can we actually raise more retinues at this point in time? No, we cannot. Although with a few more technology levels, with a few more things built in various provinces, we can probably manage to build things that'll yeah, they're mostly going for the same person, which is actually quite interesting. So Eindfred, that's actually quite interesting that they're yeah, we won't say anything about that marriage. It's but yeah, they don't usually go for somebody so long and so young rather. And well, actually, is this my son? No. This is... oh, this was the son of King Farka, who didn't last very long at all. But his stats are actually, apart from martial... actually, no, his stats aren't particularly great, but he's not quite done with education yet, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This is a bit rocky. I don't know. Come back, King Colin. Seriously, Colin. Seriously, why did you have to go and get tempted, Colin? Why? Why did you have to do that? Oh, anyway. Okay, so I think actually I'm going to forge ahead and oh. Okay. We'll actually just check. Oh, that's fine. No, it was. Oh, damn it. It was House Blackadder. Damn it. We lost House Blackadder, everybody. Oh. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, well. So that's the Campbells are now going to have Carrick. So never mind. Anyway, yeah, we'll declare war and hope it doesn't all go horribly wrong. Okay, okay. I've braced myself for horrible things to happen. Is he calling people in? Because this is a holy war, and so therefore other characters of the same faith around him can be called in. but there aren't many of them, which is rather crucial to my success here. Or at least I'm hoping they don't join in. Anyway, okay, a plot. Your wisdom and can't even say it. I also a different thing there. Mercy. There we go. I said mercenary. That's a whole other word. I've discovered a plot where Patricia and Patrick of Mechanic seeks to kill Patricia and Lachlan. I don't even care. In fact, we'll click the... Oh, it is stopped. Clicked auto stop plots. Yes. So we'll try and wrap this up, and then I think we'll wrap the episode up because my brain is rapidly falling to pieces like a piece of wet cardboard. Medium Crown Authority, we'll ignore that. Cormac Jedi has become Chancellor. Okay. Oh, that's because he's close family. That's why it's telling me that. Ordinarily, it doesn't give you messages like that. So we'll actually also... that siege won't take too long. We'll actually also have a look and... yeah. Some of them aren't too bad. Some of them are very bad. It's just the sheer number of negative values that worries me slightly. Yeah. Let's hope this king doesn't die, because that would be very bad. I mean, he's 42. He's not particularly old, but he doesn't have a particularly healthy lifestyle. I'm not sure actually how much of an effect it has, but oh, hello. Yeah, I think hedonist does have a negative effect on health. Anyway, yes, this gives me a claim. Minus 150 prestige. Oh my word. Well, we'd better make this war count then, hadn't we? Cash is not an issue. And I think we got the troops to weather this. Just from the retinues. We might want to send a few over just in case. Let's send over the men of Ross. And an extra 500 men should be fine. And there we go. Successful jihad. And what do you want to bet we get after that at some point in a few decades' time? Or even not even that. That we get another successful crusade. Because that's how that's been going. I see actually called allies into the war there. Yeah, so that's Estonia and Savo and the other one, Kemi. And all of them, I think, are... Oh, Estonia is actually a 3-province duchy. So if they march their troops up, actually that might be slightly problematic. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine, and it won't completely bite me in the ass further down the line. I think the kind of medium-term goal here is to try and create the Duchy of Finland. And Finland is... If we click the de jure button... Finland's a pretty big duchy, both geographically and in terms of the number of counties it actually encompasses. So we're going to have to get somebody fairly trusted on board to do that. Also, hello, they fancied their luck. And they have reinforcements on the way. I do as well, but it's only 500 men, because I didn't think they'd actually try that. But, yeah, we actually need to beat that fight. Okay, Tannis can get married, so I'll actually sort that out right now. His stats are fairly terrible. Sometimes you can try and marry them to get better kind of existing stats, or you can try and marry to plug up holes. And I think in this case, we're going to try and marry to plug up holes. Let's see. Oh, she's got quick. That's very useful. Some of her traits aren't particularly brilliant, though. But she does... Yeah, we'll try her. This German courtier. Also, oh, a bit too much zoom in there. Also, I want to raise my main levy, which is reduced to a sad 1342. That's hardly anything. So we'll actually march those... Well, we'll march them via the water in the direction of Finland also. Yeah, those troops have proved to be more than I was expecting. We might actually have to wrap up the episode before I conclude this war, because it might actually be a more drawn-out war than I was hoping for. Gold or prestige? At this point, we need the prestige more than we need the gold. Gold has not been a problem for Scotland so far. And yeah, getting a bit thrashed, aren't they? Okay, let's actually take that fleet straight into Suomi. I'm worried that if I try and deliberately retreat them, they'll just follow the army and blanter it, basically. But that might happen anyway, so... yeah, we'll see if we can get them to go down to Suomi and meet up with the reinforcements. But they've taken a right thorough battering. I actually wonder if I've even lost any... yeah, I've actually had some retinues that were entirely wiped out, so my cap has, as you can see, dropped rather considerably. So that's not so good. Yes, okay, we might need to make this a more general deployment, bring over more troops. I was hoping this would be a quick little war, but you know what it's like. Sometimes the quick little wars turn out to be very long, drawn-out, ugly affairs indeed. So let's group them up. We've got more troops coming in, so those troops shouldn't be in danger of just getting wiped out in Suomi, but... I think once I've actually landed those guys, I think we'll wrap it up there. We're getting on for about 40 minutes now, and I haven't actually paused and skipped ahead once in this entire episode, which, much like the last episode, is a fairly rare thing. So, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I mean, it's been... I mean, the last one was kind of, okay, we lost a king, but it was under rather funny circumstances. This time we lost a king, and it was slightly more painful. But that's how this game goes. You never, ever know how it's going to treat you and what it's going to throw at you next. So, if you have enjoyed this episode, you can leave any comments, you can leave any suggestions below, because sometimes I miss stuff. Sometimes people say things that I haven't thought of. You can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and, as always, stay tuned for more.